Wow.
Um, all right. Shalom, shalom, Israel. First, we want to give all honor and glory to the Most High Yahweh. Shema Mashiach Umarak Yahushua. Yahweh is the name of the Heavenly Father, who the world calls God. And Yahushua is the name of His only begotten Son, who the world aiming calls Jesus Christ. We want to give a strong shalom to the mighty men, all that go out and labor, that present their bodies a living sacrifice. They doing all they can to wake up the lost sheep of the house of Israel. And during the elements of the freezing below colds and the 100-degree weathers, doing all they can um, to push forth this word against everything that's trying to hinder the work of the Most High. We want to give another strong shalom to all the mighty Akwath, the sisters that are married and unmarried. We're doing all they can to be teachers of good things, tender, delicate, and on fire for the Most High. Last but not least, I want to give another strong shalom to all the mighty children and teenagers in this truth as well, doing all they can to make their calling and election sure in the last days. And Brother Tazama,
Brother Zaba Yalla.
and as you can see by the topic of this video, it's how to handle school and the truth, right? This is a video of how to handle school and the truth,
Right.
aka college edition. Um, WFI late nights as well as 10 o'clock on the what's that, the Midwest. Might be 11 o'clock on the East Coast, and it might be 8 o'clock, around 8 o'clock on the West Coast. Nevertheless, we still got to bring out this word. So this is how to handle school in the truth, right? AKA college edition. You got a lot of brothers, they going to college. You got a lot of sisters, they interested in going to college. It's their first time. They might not know what's going on. You might not know what to expect. So this video is entitled mainly for you brothers and sisters that's in college, but also for you brothers and sisters that's preparing yourself that's going to college, for things you need to be aware of and watch out, and how to conduct yourself in that environment. Right? I want to get this precept.
Right, Salakia.
I want to get this precept in the book of Sirach. Or I want to get this precept in the book of Sirach. Because you have brothers that, you know what I'm saying, they've been through this thing. Right? That's why we brought Jamarian or Zahavi on here. Because you have certain men, they have experience with college. Certain men, they dropped out. Certain men, they couldn't handle it. It's not what they thought. So we have to disperse this experience, so other brothers and sisters can know how to conduct themselves. But this is
That's
the
right.
book. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 34, and verse Sirach 34 and verse 9. A man that have traveled knoweth many things, and he that have much experience will declare wisdom. He that have no experience knoweth little, but he that have traveled is full of prudence. And you have men that travel places, men that been in certain things. You have men that been in the NFL coming to the truth. You have men that been in high positions at their job, men that traveled the state. So that's what these men are equated with, experience. And it's a difference between experience and wisdom. Because a man, you can have wisdom, but you can have no experience with certain things, right? You can have wisdom and know how to deal with a woman, but you have no experience on actually dealing with that. Nevertheless, wisdom teaches you that. So you have brothers that they have experience in those certain fields, and you want to be able to get that experience and soak it up, so you could not make the same mistakes another man did, but actually learn from those mistakes and apply that to your everyday life. You got a precept?
I'm gonna bring it out. Right, and it's going into applying those different things, what you learn, for the future, whatever you learn, of course, and everything in the scriptures that you learn, in the scriptures, whatever you're dealing with now, whether it's college or it's a job, in any way, shape, or form, our forefathers went through it already. Right? I'm going to Romans chapter 15 and 4. Right, classic. Right, and that's why we go to the scriptures and we bring out the scriptures, whether it's any event. Well, they didn't have college in the ancient world. They didn't have this in the ancient world. Well, but the same things you're going to deal with in school is some of the same things that you deal with when you're at college or when you're at school. So this is the book of Romans, chapter 15, and I'm going to start at verse 4. And it says, "For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning." Here's the point, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope, man. And that's why we open up the scriptures, is so that we can have hope. A hope that we can get through certain demons. Not just only hope for the kingdom and the elect being sealed, but just having that same hope that you're going to be saved. Even though some of the things we've been doing, man. Because we read the scriptures and we have comfort through the scriptures, that the Most High is going to give us these hope. That's hope in the last days. Verse 5, now that the Most High, now the God of patience and consolation grants you to be granted you to be like-minded one towards another, according to Yahushua HaMashiach, man. And this is the key. It says, now the God of patience and consolation. And in college or in school or even at your so-called job, but pertaining really to college, you got to have patience, right? Because you're going to endure. Trust me, you're going to endure, right? You got to have patience, and you have to use the scriptures. If you're not in the scriptures every day, you're subject to fall out. That day may be the day you fall out. You got to be in the scriptures every day. There is no, damn, I'm going to do it later. That do it later spirit will kill you, man. And trust me, I understand it, right? You may know there may be certain events that's going on that, hey, it don't matter. You got to get in these scriptures, man. And you got to put the Most High first in all things. And the Most High will test you in that situation. Are you going to put me first? Are you going to put me first? It seems like the constant test. Are you going to put me first? You got to always choose the Lord over all different things. But kind of, I yield.
That's right. That's right. Now, like I said, we brought the brother Zabayala on here because the brother has experience with that. Me personally, I didn't go to college for personal reasons. I know what that's. I might not have went, but I know what takes place there. I've seen glimpses of it. I'm saying you might go on campus to examine certain universities, but this brother, he's been there. He can say he's been there, done that. So let him know what college you went to.
So for me, I went to a few different schools. I went to 3 different schools in 3 different states. First school I went to was an all Edomite school, right in Minnesota. All right, Minnesota Crookston was up there for a year. Then I went to a school in Iowa, DMAC, Des Moines Area Community College. I was like 15 minutes from Iowa State. And for those that know Iowa State, that's the second ranked party school in the nation. So you can imagine being 15 minutes from a party school, and then you playing basketball, you're playing sports, I'm playing sports, and then you're winning at a high level. Demons, it's like demons are inviting themselves into you, right? You got different people hitting you up that you don't know, right? You got, for me being a male, you got the women hitting you up. You got a lot of different things that's coming along, while you're in this environment. And the key word I say is environment, right? Because you're just surrounded by different things all the time. The last school I went to was Jackson State University. See, right? I went kind of Jackson State, right? Again, at the high level, playing basketball and you're winning. And then now you're around Judah. So now, I've been in these 3 different environments where I was around all Esau, and then it was mixed with Esau, some Jake. And now I'm strictly Jake. Just all around Jake and Eve the whole time. And, it's different spirits that's around that, but same way Satan can use those different vessels to tempt you in the spirit. And I'm gonna bring out this for those that are in college and those that are watching, right? And you're in college right now, you're wondering how to endure, and you're going through these different things and these different demons. Well, I can read you this. All right, the brother said he's from Jackson, Mississippi. Yeah, Kyle was down there last year, man. Right when Jackson Deion Sanders came. All right, got out right in time because now that school is wicked. Right, that school is wicked. Boy, I'll tell you. Right, this is James chapter 1. This is James chapter 1, and I'll start at verse 12. Blessed is the man that endureth temptation, for when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life. So when you're in school, you're going to be tried. Like, it's almost impossible for you not to be tried. Right? Even if you're not playing a sport, or even if you're just an average fellow there, you're going to be tried, man. Right? Because you're surrounded by so many spirits at one time. Even at a so-called small school, it's not really a small school. Right? And it says, that he may receive the crown of life, which the Lord hath promised them that love him. Let no man say when he is tempted, I am tempted of the Most High, for the Most High cannot be tempted with evil, neither tempteth he any man. And I came to this realization when I was in school. Any temptations or any demons that I'm dealing with, it wasn't because of the Most High. It was because I let myself enter into that, or it was because I brought that upon myself. And, a demon may come to you. That doesn't mean you got to entertain it, man. It don't mean you got to entertain it. That doesn't mean you have to sin. But most of this stuff that a lot of people, or that they're waiting on their conscience, you're going off and you're doing different things because you brought it upon yourself. You decide to entertain it, right? And it says, for the Most High cannot be tempted with any evil, neither tempteth he any man. But every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his own lust and enticed, man. All right, so when you're in school and you're, like, say, you're dealing with different spirits, because you're going to be dealing with a whole bunch of different spirits every single day, whether you have your own friend group or, whatever. There's going to be opportunities where you're going to be where demons are going to jump on you and you're going to be tempted. It's just your job not to entertain those demons or be drawn away of your own lust and your own evil. And you know what makes you want to do certain things. You. I don't know you. Right? You, and it's crazy because in college, you're not surrounded by a congregation. You're not surrounded by brothers in the truth. Like when I was in Jackson State, I seen 2 brothers in the truth, but they weren't at the school. They were working at the school. So I was by myself. So 99% of the time when you're tempted, you're going to be by yourself. It's just you and Satan and the Lord, man. Nobody's going to keep you accountable. Let's just get this straight. Ain't nobody keeping you accountable. You got to keep yourself accountable. Who's going to tell you to read? You. All right? Who's going to tell you to study? You. Who's going to tell you to break down a video? You. Nobody's calling you like, you broke down that video. Did you do that yet? Nobody's calling you like, how your teacher say, where's that homework? Where's that last assignment? Nobody's doing that to you. You are 100% self-accountable, man. And I was that for 3 years. So it just shows you gotta be mature in this thing too. Don't go to college if you're not mature enough to handle it. I'll tell you that right now. If your mindset is in a different space and you're trying to go to college, and you will be sifted out. And I'll tell you that right now, man. You got to know yourself. Like I said, for me, I had 1 more year left of school at Jackson State. I know myself. If I was to stay there for a whole nother year, I wouldn't be in this thing. It would not have happened. I would not be on this live. I would be somewhere at a party right now, man. What's it? August 17th is moving day. I would be at a damn party right now. Right? But I know my spirit, and you know what you can handle. So if you already down there and you're dealing with different things, and you're going through that, let me go to 2 Corinthians chapter 7. You're going through that godly sorrow. That godly sorrow. You know what you did. You messed up last night. You had somebody over that shouldn't been over. And you just kind of did something, or you just kind of went out and you kind of did something, or you didn't read, you kind of gave too much of your time to your actions or your friends or your homework. You go to 2 Corinthians chapter 7. The biggest thing is staying motivated. You have to know how to self-motivate. This is 2 Corinthians chapter 7 and verse 5. For when we were coming to Macedonia, our flesh had no rest. When you're in school, your flesh don't get rest. You literally have classes from all different points throughout the day, and then you got extracurricular activities, and you back again up at 7 in the morning to catch breakfast. As an athlete, I had no rest, right? You had film, you had 3 practices a day plus a workout, and then you had to come back and do homework, and then you got the work of the Lord that you got to do, and you got to get back up for 5 a.m. again, right? So you may not have rest in this thing, right? But it says, without were fightings, within were fears, man. Right? You fighting these demons, but you scared that you just gonna go off and fall out the truth. Verse 6, nevertheless, the Most High that comforted those that are cast down, comforted us by the coming of Titus, man. Let me jump down to verse 9. Now I rejoice, now that you were made sorry, but that you were sorry to repentance, man. And when you're in school, you gotta have that sorrowful to repentance, that godly sorrow that makes you want to go harder for the Lord. You don't want to have that sorry that makes you want to go pick up a blunt or call your friends and say, you know what, man, I just need a day out with the guys. That will destroy you, man. Because I had those thoughts too. Like, damn, I went off in the spirit. I might as well give up in this thing, or I might as well just do this. Well, let me call up this dude because I already know he's gonna. No, man, you don't want to have that type of repentance because that will destroy you, man. And when you finish doing whatever you got done doing, you're gonna feel even much worse, right? And it says, for when you were made sorry after a godly manner, that you might receive damage by us nothing. For godly sorrow worketh repentance to salvation, not to be repented of, but the sorrow of the world worketh death. And in college or any educational institution that you're at, they're going to teach you, well, for you to feel better, just go around some friends, right? But just go around some people that's going to uplift your spirit. But the people that you're around, they're not going to uplift your spirit. They don't know what uplifts your spirit. They're going to teach you sin, right? They're going to say, let's drink tonight then, right? College is probably the only place in the world where they have parties on Wednesday nights consistently. They will have a party on Wednesday night and they'll go into classes in the morning, man, or Thursday night. I kid you not. The homecoming for Jackson State, they shut the whole school down and it was just partying. Damn near, it's like a 7-day feast day, man. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, dog. They shut the whole teachers, all of that. Like like your history teacher, right now she coming out in a damn immodest dress, and your damn philosophy teacher, right? That use you as a suit and ties every day. He coming out dressed like a damn nigga on the street. And drinks is all day everywhere, man. These are the things that you can't be a part of and that you can't get caught up into, man. Right? And it says, but the sorrow of the world worketh death, and the sorrow of the world will tell you to go do those things, go be partaker of those things, but you got to know how to separate yourself, right? And you got to know how to motivate yourself. As I said again, let me go to Sirach 14:1. Now I'm gonna pass it. Right, this is Sirach 14:1, man. This is Sirach 14:1. Blessed is the man that hath not slipped with his mouth and is not pricked with the multitude of sins. Blessed is he whose conscience have not condemned him and who is not fallen from his hope in the Lord. That's the biggest thing, man. You cannot fall from your hope in the Lord. Whatever all else fails, you got to have hope in the Lord, man. Because like I said, you're self-accountable. The Lord is, the Lord is testing you, man. You're surrounded by no one but you and the Lord and demons and spirits, man. It's who's gonna tell you wrong, or who's going to tell you right, who's going to tell you to do this or do that. Most people would tell you when they go to school, that's the first time they learn time management, because it's not like an 8:30 to 3:30. Now you got a class at this time, you got a class at this time, they give you the work, are you going to do it or not? And you got to figure out the time to do the work. So you're learning time management, and you're learning, okay, how do I balance this and the truth at the same time? And like I said, college requires a level of maturity. If you're not ready for it, do not go. Right, because you will be surrounded by spirits, or you're going to be in a furnace 24/7. You're going to be. I literally go to sleep, and I'm hearing my teammates party, or I'm going to sleep, and the weed smell is coming under my door because they want to flame up before they go out to a party at 1:30 in the morning, and I'm trying to sleep. And now you're thinking about weed in your sleep. You're thinking about weed, or you're hearing them, or you're hearing female. If you're a Jake, you're hearing females coming through the apartment building or your dorm room. Like, you're hearing all and the brother said facts, right? I can't, this is true. You can't make this up. You know, it's a 24/7 furnace, and you have to discipline yourself to fear the Most High above all things. You know, I got another. I'm gonna pass it. I'm gonna go another point after you.
Yeah, that's right, man. Some words of if you're not built up in this thing, brother, don't go. Or you got a brother, he's 2 weeks into the truth, right? Talking about he wanna damn go to Indiana State, man. Yeah, I'm saying I just coming into this thing. I'm saying I want to go to Indiana State to be so and so. Brother, don't go there.
No.
Why? Because you're not built up yet. Now, certain men, they built up. They on that high level to where they able to nip and rebuke wickedness. And that leads us into our fourth point is when you're going, if you are going to, which I personally don't recommend. I don't recommend college unless you're going for something to add unto your skill and the truth. Whether that be communication classes, that might be extra history classes, that might be something else.
Right.
Other than that, I don't recommend it. But if you are going, you have to be aware of your surroundings. You have to redeem the time. You can't just go in there. Oh, yeah, this gonna be a breeze. Well, brother, you finna breeze your way out of the truth. You got men saying, "Hey, man, you know me, right?" Brother, it's not what you think it is. You have to come in with a mindset that you could be killed at any given time. And that's spiritually. Right? You got certain women going to college saying, yeah, I'm just going for my soulmate. And the truth, man. So the first point that leads us into, if you are going to college, you have to be aware of your surroundings at all times. Let's go to Sirach chapter 27 and verse number 12. Let's go to the book of Ecclesiasticus chapter 27 and verse 12. You don't want to be a fool, a man that doesn't regard the time. You just don't know what's going on, right? This Sirach 27 and 12. If thou be amongst the indiscreet, and that's where you is, like the brother said, you're around 9 times out of 10. The population. How much was the population of Jackson State?
Jackson State. Let me look. I actually look it up, man. All I know when I looked at the ratio, it's 30% men, 70% women. Right. So
What's the estimate
it's
of people you would say?
let me see. Jackson State University population. Right. Not really giving me the answer. Oh, okay, Con. So it's about 20 to 25,000 students.
Dang. So
Yeah.
again, you said what?
No. Slocky. Okay, I was doing the population of Jackson. Okay, it's 7,000 students, 7,000 to 8,000 students, and most of them are Eve.
Okay. Yeah, and Jackson State is off, man. Nevertheless, you're amongst the indiscreet. We're not gonna get into that right now, but you're amongst the indiscreet, man. Meaning you're amongst nothing but dead people. You're the only person. Now out of 7,000 students, I'm led to believe it's maybe 5 people out of 7,000 that know about the truth. 3 out of that, maybe 2 out of that 5 people is really taking it seriously. Because, I mean, Jake know about the truth all the time. So, you tell me 5 out of 7,000? That's how you know the darkness prevails the light. Nevertheless, you're around a whole bunch of dead people, man. Spiritually dead people, zombies. So the Lord said, if thou be amongst the indiscreet, observe the time. Meaning, hey, watch what's going on. You want to watch wickedness. You got to observe the women there. You got to observe the different spirits, the men there, the different type of temptations that's there, the different type of youthful lust that's there, right? You want to observe all of that. You want to be you want to sit back and just watch things. Why? So you can learn how to avoid it. Don't be the man. You just being a, you care. If you care what other people think about you, you're not go to college.
You're not gonna make it down there.
Yeah, you not. If you still care, well, I don't know. They might say something about my friend. Just let me tuck it in, right? Let me act like I'm a nigga.
I know they gonna ask too. Or they gonna get on you. They gonna ask. You better stand bold because they gonna ask.
See that?
That ain't.
They gonna get on you, man.
That's a Jake.
Now, if you care about what other men think about you, you're not gonna make it. You're gonna be a what's that word? You're gonna be you're gonna be a friend to the world, man.
Yeah.
You be a friend to the world, brother. You're not going. It's only a matter of time, and before that environment eats you alive. So if you're amongst it in the street, observe the time. It says, but be continually among men of understanding. But chiefly, you want to be amongst a man of understanding. You know what I'm saying? Nevertheless, you might not have that man of understanding amongst you. So you have to observe the time. Let's go to the book of Ephesians. 5th chapter. Right. Go to the book of Ephesians. Right. Get this. It's the book of Ephesians. Actually, I want Colossians. Let's go to the book of Colossians, chapter 4 and 2. Right. It's the book of Colossians, chapter 4 and verse number 5. Colossians chapter 4 and 5. It says, walk in wisdom toward them that are without. Right? Meaning without understanding. Redeeming the time. And that's what when you dealing in that environment, you have to move in wisdom, man. If you don't have wisdom with you, you're not going to make it. If you don't have the Most High on your side in that environment, you're not going to make it, brother. Because you're going to end up getting tempted. You're going to go to hell off. You keep going off too many times, the Lord going to cast you down, man. So you have to redeem the time, man. You got to come in there like, okay, you got to get whatever you want to do, get it done, and that's it, man. Don't be lingering around. We got certain men, they just linger around the break room. Right? It's 3:00 in the morning. The break room damn near closed. You just lingering around. You trying to find something to get into. But brother, it's only a matter of time. It's good now. I'm gonna get this precept in 1 John. Dealing with the environment that you in around college. Chiefly this world in general. But brothers can testify, college is a world inside itself. Right? It's wickedness inside of the whole world is wickedness, but it's like wickedness inside of wickedness. It's just a freak fest, man. A lust fest. Right? But let's go to 1 John chapter 2 and verse 15. I'm gonna start at verse 16. 1 John 2 and 16. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh. And again, we know this is all in the world, but this is at those colleges as well. Whether it's a small college, an HBCU, or a top college. All that's really in there is lust of the flesh. Men that want to freak off with women. You got cheerleaders there. They half naked. They looking at you and they trying to seduce you. Right? Men that's trying to entice you. You got lust of the flesh, man. And lust of the eyes. You might see the top football player come in with a Camaro SS. Then you looking like, dang, right? You might see them with the so-called baddest girl there. You see them sororities and fraternities and frat parties. Lust of the eyes, man. It says, and pride of life. You know how many men that are prideful in college? Men, they fighting other men. They don't get, their ego gets in the way. Men have a big ego. If you're not hanging around so-and-so, hey, you're not cool. Right? You can't come around. It's nothing but pride, man. It says, it's not of the Father, but it's of the world. And we sad to say it. We're going to say it. College is of the world, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like it. My back.
Yeah, you good.
Done. Yeah, college is of the world, man. Now, like I said, if you go in there to add into your talents or whatnot, or use it for a beneficial reason, that's different. Other than that, college is of the world. It is not of the Father, man. So you have to observe the time if you're amongst the dead or the indiscreet. But you got it.
Fine. Bring out this precept in the book of well, I'm gonna read this first. This Proverbs chapter 27 and verse 12. And it says, a prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself, but the wicked pass, but the simple pass on and are punished. You got to know how to foresee. When you're in school, you better know how to identify Satan. Like, you and Satan better become, like Satan is on to you. You got to be on to Satan. You got to recognize all the devices and the temptation. First, you got to recognize what you deal with. And then you got to recognize when you deal with those things. Like when does temptation hit you? You got to be a warrior in school. Like, you literally have to be a warrior. You have to come up with game plans. You have to come up with a schedule. And if you already in school, you already probably know about it for time management, for different homeworks and stuff. But when it comes to study habits, you have to be extremely strict on it. You have to be. All right, I have to do this at one day. I'm going to do this at this time. I'm going to do this at this time. You can't let nothing stray away from your schedule. Because once you break your study habits for one simple thing, and you kind of ease off of it, it gets easier to keep doing it and to keep doing it and to keep doing it. You have to be on a strict schedule, man. And you have to know how to identify Satan before he identifies you. You got to know when it's, okay, no, hell, I'm not going that way. All right. You walk into the cafeteria and you see a whole bunch of just Eve. They leave in cheerleading practice the same time that you decide to go to the cafeteria. You got to walk around. That's what you got. You got to walk around, because as soon as they see you, now all you hear is, boy, you fine. And then now you hear that. Now you turn around. Oh, girl, he looking at you. Now she pushed her in front of you, and now you're in a conversation you didn't even mean to have. Boy, walk your ass around. All right, that's what you got to do. You got to see Satan. You got to know how to identify him, man. You trying to get into it. As soon as you press play on a Monday Night Fire, you get yo, we about to go smoke outside. You trying to come? That's all you hear, and you just press the video. Nah, I'm not. And you keep watching the video, man. You got to know how to identify Satan before he identify you, man. And now, one thing that will help you, and that I learned from going to different schools, you have to establish your image very quickly. You have to establish who you are, what you represent very quickly, or they're going to try you. And what I mean by try you is they're going to ask you questions like, hey, bro, you smoke? Hey, bro. And they're going to try you like this. Damn, I just seen this bad girl. Come look at her Instagram. They're trying you. They're trying to see what type of person you are. Establish that image real quick. And that's what I did at Jackson State. I told brothers, I don't know if I told you, but when I first got there, we got a group chat. We had like a team group chat. It was like 20 people, 20 brothers. I didn't know these brothers at all. It's probably like my first week there. And what I did was, I knew they didn't know me, and I knew them. And I'm learning from my past experiences at different schools. I threw in the Cold Cuts page. At this time, I was teaching on the Philly Jersey channel. I threw in the Philly Jersey channel, and I threw in some precepts in the group chat. And I'm coaching it too. So they're like, what the hell? So I threw all of that in the group chat. I'm like, if any brother got any biblical questions, hit me up, hit my line. we the real Israelites according to the scriptures. So that's why I went down to the school, was trying to wake up my people. That's all like, damn, the Lord sent me here to wake up my people. You know, I think the brother will be back in soon. Right. So the first thing I did was I threw in, the channels in the group chat, and I threw in, who we were in the group chat. So by that time, they already knew I was a person that understood the Bible. Now, when I went around them, I had my fringes, and they started asking questions about the Bible. Right. They started asking questions about the scriptures, and then I was breaking it down to them. So now it's hard for you to go off, because now you kind of made it where the people of the world will kind of have to hold you accountable in a way. So if you're talking about something and then you go do something with those same people, now it's a little bit worse, because now they look at you as a hypocrite, or they look at you as a person that's not holding up to their word. So you have to establish your image very quickly. It's going to be harder for you to go off, because now you don't want to be looked at as a hypocrite. In a sense where if they never knew you were as an Israelite in the first place, and now you're just going off, it's going to be hard for them to stop doing certain things to you, because they never even knew that about you in the first place. Right? Let me go to Ephesians chapter 5 and verse 3. But fornication and all uncleanness or covetousness, let it not be once named among you as becometh saints, neither filthiness and foolish talking, nor jesting, which are not convenient, but rather giving of thanks. And that's what you're going to experience if you're a Jake or if you're Eve. You're going to hear a lot of filthiness and foolish talking and jesting, right? Meaning a lot of playing around. You're going to hear a lot of sports talk, a lot of Eve talk. Eve, you're going to hear a lot of men in makeup talk. You're going to hear a lot of gossiping. You're going to hear a lot about the drama that's going on. And once you enter into that conversation, that can put a spirit on you as well. You're talking about this all day, and now you're trying to come back and read the scriptures, right? You got to know what you're saying, right? And it says, but for this you know that no whoremonger, nor unclean person, nor covetous man who is an idolater have any inheritance in the kingdom of Hamashiach and of the Most High, right? Let no man deceive you with vain words, for because of these things cometh the wrath of the Most High upon the children of disobedience. Be not ye therefore partakers with them. So the Lord said, do not be partakers with them, huh? Don't be so quick into going over there with them. And the quickest way to do that is by, as soon as you get there, establish your image that you are a servant of the Lord. It's okay to be weird. Like the brother said, you better be okay with people talking about you, because it's gonna happen. Why you got these fringes on? Oh yeah, I think he's Jewish or something. Like that's what they're gonna say at the same time. But you establish that image beforehand. So now you make it so the people of the world that look at you, they will hold you accountable. I'll never forget this. I just came into the truth, and I was 18 or something like that, and I was bringing out my teammates like, yo, we the Israelites, yada yada yada, and some of my teammates were seniors, and I'm bringing out the truth to them, but I'm still trying to go out with them. I'm still trying to smoke and party with them. I'm 18, they like 23, 24 years old, and I'm doing that with them. And one time I called this dude out, I'm like, yo, you're not supposed to be eating pork. He like, bro, you be breaking the commandments yourself. You be smoking, doing all of that, bro. Shut up. I'm not even trying to hear that. Cut me to the heart. I promise you, it cut me to the heart. I'm like, damn, he just got on my ass. You still be smoking, you still be doing this. Was you trying to talk to that girl, bro? I ain't trying to hear nothing that you saying. I'm about to eat my pizza. And it's like I couldn't say nothing, because like he's literally me seeing me doing all these different things, but I'm trying to break down to him the truth. Right? So you gotta establish your image, and then you gotta hold to your word and be very strict on it. Because if you're trying to rebuke somebody else in the world, they're gonna easily come back on you. And now that image is gonna fall. Now you're a hypocrite. Let me bring out one more precept. All right. This is John chapter 2 and 24. But Yahushua did not commit himself unto them, because he knew all men, and needed not that any should testify of man, for he knew what was in man. So Yahushua didn't commit to man, meaning he didn't go out and try to be with man. It just so happened he had the disciples. He was healing all those people, but Yahushua never just willingly went out there and try to commit himself into man. Yahushua would have known as a loner. He's by himself a lot, right? And then another point too, when you establish your image and then you're holding fast to that, the people that you're around, they're not going to do certain things. They're not going to try certain things with you. Right. So if they know they're going to a party, they know they're not going to, like, they know not to ask me. They know, damn, Zamar, yeah, I'm going to ask him. He's not going to go. Right. They know that. Right. Because of what I already told them and what they seen and how I interact with other people. You know, it came to the point where, you know, Jake talking about girls, I come around, they stop talking about girls. Right. They just kind of disperse. Right. Or they just, you bring out a precept and, you know, you kind of kill the conversation. It has to get to that point. You know, it's going to get to that point. But needless to say, you should be a, you know, a loner in this thing. You know, your door should always be, if you live with other people, hey, you're the person with your room door always closed. You always just in your room. You wake up in the morning, you get some food, and you go back to your room. You go to class, you go back to your room. All right, like, damn, I haven't spoke 3 words to him. And every time they speak to you, it's a precept. You know, and that's just how I gotta be, man. You know, let me give one more precept in Ephesians, and I'm gonna pass it. This is Ephesians chapter 4 and verse 27. Neither give place to the devil. And that's it. Don't give place to this. Don't give place to the devil. There's going to be many opportunities for you to sin, for you to go off, for you to join this club, or for you to be in this party or this environment and to do that or this, that, and the third. But just don't give place to the devil. I'm going to jump down verse 29. Let no corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth, but that which is good to the use of edifying, that it may minister grace unto the hearers. And grieve not the Holy Spirit of the Most High, whereby you are sealed unto the day of redemption. All right. Let all bitterness and wrath and anger and clamor and evil speaking be put away from you with all malice, and be ye kind one to another, tenderhearted, forgiving one another, even as the Most High Hamashiach have forgiven you, or Hamashiach say have forgiven you. So watching what you say, how you're talking, 9 times out of 10, if you're in college and you're in the truth, the conversation you're going to have with other people, it ain't going to be about the truth unless you're teaching them about the truth. You know, so watching what you say and how you think is going to play a big role in how you maneuver through school, and understanding how to identify Satan before he identifies you, so you don't get caught up in folly and madness, man. Because trust me, there's many events, and I can attest to it, where I planned out my day and it didn't go according to the way I planned, because Satan caught me up, and now I was doing something inconvenient that I didn't think I was going to end up doing when I woke up. Like when I woke up, I didn't think I was going to be doing that at the end of the day. And that destroys my spirit. And all you can think is, okay, if I wake up tomorrow, I have another chance to repent. This day is gone. Right? I effed up. Let's see what I can do tomorrow. All right? Motivating yourself. But Khan, you got it, King.
That's right. Orderberg got this precept in the book of Malachi, the 3rd chapter. Right? And again, we're going to just say you have to want to be weird. You have to be weird, bro. Even though you're not weird, you have to be weird. They're going to think you're weird. So you have to just be weird, man. Nevertheless, this Malachi chapter 3 and 18, it says, Then shall ye return and discern between the righteous and the wicked, between him that serveth God and him that serveth him not. And while you're at the so-called college, you have to have a high level of discernment. Who serves the God and who doesn't? If a man that doesn't serve God, you shouldn't even be around him. Right? You should be continually amongst men of understanding. Even Sirach 37 and 12 says that. Right? So if nobody else is in the truth with you, right, you're going to have to be by yourself, man. You might have to talk to yourself, right? You have to be cool with not talking to nobody. You just got to be in your own world. You got to be thinking about the precepts. Everybody else talking, they having fun, they smiling. You just in the corner, not talking somewhere. But it's gonna take a lot of discipline. Certain men, they get lonely. Nah, I don't know about this. They see me talking to myself. But there's nothing wrong with talking to yourself, man. Chiefly if it's not about the precepts, you shouldn't even be, talking about it. Right? Let's go to Sirach chapter 9 and 15. Right? Sirach chapter 9 and verse number 15. You have to not want to be around people. Or you got these rappers, they say that in the world. I don't want no friends. Right? You got certain that say I don't want no friends. It's just me, myself, and that. They do that for a reason, because they know what comes with it. They know what comes with it in the so-called music industry. They know fake people come around, wicked men come around. That's how you have to be in the shoot. In the shoot, man, when you go into school. You have to be by yourself. You have to not want any friends. Only friends you should really want is men that want to serve the Lord. And if there's nobody there, well, guess what? You have to stay to yourself. But this is the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 9 and 15. Let thy talk be with the wise, and all thy communication in the law of the Most High. Right? And you want to let your talk be with the wise. You don't want to be talking to fools, man. The Lord said, talk not much with a fool in Sirach 22 and 13. You don't want to be just talking to anybody, man. Right? It says, and all that communication in the law of the Most High. So chiefly, if it's not about the truth, you really don't want to discuss it. But yet, temptation comes in and tempts men. And it's really you younger men. Older men, they old, man. They know what's good. They set that foundation. But you have something called youthful lust. When you read 2 Timothy chapter 2 and 22. When you go into youthful lust, it's chiefly going into lust that young people deal with. But the Lord said, flee that. Read on verse 16. And let just men eat and drink with thee, and let thy glorying be in the fear of the Lord. Meaning, you want to hang around, whether that's eating physically and drinking with men of understanding, just men. You don't want to just, it's your first day, you on campus, you damn go sit down at the lunch table with the top football player. Trying to be cool. You got that trying to fit in spirit. Hey, we don't want to fit in, man.
Pulling on his jersey, talking about what's this?
See that? Pulling on on the brother jersey, man. Talking about how many rings you got.
Yeah. When the season start, can I come?
Yeah.
Can I come? That's off.
Yeah, that's off, but you don't even know the brother. Could be an ungodly man.
All right.
Hey, we don't want to fit in, man. I'm not trying to fit in. I might say something here and there to increase my learning, but other than that, I don't want to fit in, man. A lot of you men, you still want to fit in. You still want to be a cool kid, popular. When do Yahushua ever want to fit in amongst the people? Last time I checked, he said, I am not of this world. So brothers got to keep that in mind as well. And let me bring out this precept and let's go to Proverbs chapter 1. Nevertheless, temptation is gonna be chiefly your biggest battle. But it's the book of Proverbs chapter 1 and verse 10. It says, my son, if sinners entice thee, consent thou not. Because you're going to have enticement. You're going to have temptation on that path. But if any man of any fool entice you to do something, and the Lord said, consent thou not. Because if you consent, next thing you know, you're going to end up committing adultery. It's a lot of adultery that go on in college, man. A lot of whoremongers, a lot of drunkards. Men he in his science class, but he got a damn hangover from last night, right? You got women just not shamefast. You got evil seducing women. So if sinners entice you in any type of way, you can't consent to that, man. You got to stand up for the words of the Lord. Hey, just say, hey, simply, hey, I don't get in. You gotta hit Jake what Jake hit you. You ask Jake, hey, believe in the Bible, da 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 da. He say, no, I don't get into all of that. Hey, Jake try to have you do wickedness. Hey, I don't even get into all of that. Right? You gotta hit Jake with the same thing they give you, man. Now I wanna get a precept. And you have men in the Bible, like the brother said, not necessarily around in college, but you had men around the environment of a college. Again, that college lifestyle is nothing but foolishness and wickedness and lust and sex, man. It's just nothing but sex, right? But you had your forefathers in that same environment. You have to know how they conducted themselves. Let me bring this out in 2 Timothy or 2 Peter. Right, it's the book of 2 Peter, chapter 2, and verse number 7. 2 Peter 2 and 7. And deliver just Lot, vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked. Now you can read about Lot in Genesis the 19th chapter. Lot was in Sodom and Gomorrah. He was a just man. Chiefly, it wasn't even 10 righteous men in the city of Sodom and Gomorrah. So Lot, he was just kind of out there with his household. It kind of was what it was. It says, and deliver just Lot, vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked. For that righteous man dwelling among them and seeing and hearing vexed his righteous soul from day to day with their unlawful deeds. That's what happened, man. He was a righteous man, but he was dwelling among sinners. Hey, and Sodom, they was big. Sodom and Gomorrah was big for homosexuality. So God knows what he heard late at night. Probably heard men getting popped in the next room. Right? Another man screaming out. Right? That's all. Right? That's all. You just hear it's 2:30 in the morning. You hear another man screaming. Right? Damn music. Damn dance music. Damn God knows what the smell was. Right? We don't want to go into depth on that.
Yeah, smell like a damn gym.
Yeah, right. God knows what the smell is like. But hey, that's what Lot had to deal with, man. He had to see things and hear things that any man ought not want to hear or see. It says, the Lord knoweth how to deliver the godly out of temptations, and to reserve the unjust unto the day of judgment to be punished. Nevertheless, the Lord delivered Lot out of that wicked temptation. Lot almost, we don't know. Lot could have somewhat gave up, man. He could have said, you know what, I'm done. I don't know if I can do this. I don't know, man. He could have had a spiritual breakdown. Nevertheless, the Lord delivered him. And we bring this out in Wisdom of Solomon, the 4th chapter. It's Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 4 and 10. It says, he pleased God and was beloved of him, so that living among sinners he was translated. Talking about Enoch. Yes, speedily he was taken away. Hey, the Lord had to get Enoch out of there speedily. There's no in-depth account on what really happened during the time of Enoch. What we do know from this account, you did have wicked, unrighteous men. It says, yes, speedily was he taken away, lest that wickedness should alter his understanding, or deceit beguile his soul, man. So the Lord had to translate Enoch unless that wickedness would start to get to him. That's similar to what the brother said. He said, hey, if I would have stayed, ultimately the Lord got him out of there. If the Lord didn't take the brother from Jackson State, God knows what would have happened. That wickedness would have altered his understanding.
Yeah.
Right? And beguiled his soul. In certain instances, if the Lord didn't remove me, I wouldn't even be in the truth, man. Just due to a high level of wickedness. And that's even in the so-called workplace. Man, my last job, that job was so awful. Man.
Yeah.
Nothing but damn Edomites. It's 8 in the morning. You go in for work. All you hear is They playing damn dance music.
Yeah.
Then man, I don't even want to go into it.
I heard the stories. You told me.
Yeah. One morning you go in, literally, they literally playing sex music. I don't know. I guess it's called. It's the S word pop, but it's literally a genre of music where women is talking about nothing but wickedness.
That's off.
And they're playing it, and nobody's saying nothing. But let me turn on some Hezekiah.
Yeah.
Talking about the white man is the devil. All hell will break loose.
Oh yeah.
But men get to come around and play sex music. That's wicked, man.
It's evil.
Nevertheless, that's the environment you're around. It says, verse 12, for the bewitching of naughtiness doth obscure things that are honest, and the wandering of concupiscence done undermine the simple mind. Meaning what? The Lord said, folly is set in great dignity. Meaning, certain men, they're simple to sin. They're so of a pure heart and of a pure mind. If they learn what certain wickedness is, it could alter their understanding and destroy an innocent and righteous man. So what the Lord had to do, the Lord had to get Enoch up out of there. And that's the same way with you brothers and sisters. If you're in that predicament where you didn't know how to go about it and you stuck, this is the wisdom and knowledge to understand it for it. But again, it's a certain type of demeanor you want to go into this thing dealing with that. The brothers got it.
I'm gonna bring out this precept in Sirach chapter 13, and I'm gonna start at verse 16. All flesh consorteth according to kind, and a man will cleave unto his like. What fellowship hath the wolf with the lamb? So the sinner with the godly. What agreement is there between the hyena and a dog? And what peace between the rich and the poor? As the wild ass is a lion's prey in the wilderness, so the rich eat up the poor. So you going around there, you desire friends. You desire people to talk to. You see everybody got a group of people. You see everybody clicked up. Not saying you can't talk to people, but you just got to come with that understanding. Like, you got to be spiritually guarded. I'm talking about you got to have your whole armor on every single day. You can't be lacking every day, bro. Like the way you can talk, you can talk, see what's going on. You don't want to be completely out of tune, what the hell is going on, but you still want to, just be very wise in what you do and and who you're talking to. Now, if there's some information you need, and you can ask this brother right here, he got glasses, he watches anime, right? He look, he kind of to himself too. Or you got the girl over there, and she don't wear nothing, right? And that she has a Jezebel spirit. She's around every other dude, and you say, well, let me just ask her. I'm just gonna ask her a simple question about class, right? And you know damn well what the hell is about to happen. When you could have just asked this brother watching Naruto, right next to you. All right, so you got to kind of be wise in who you're speaking to and how you're speaking to people. Not saying you can't talk to people, and you just got to be like, you just got to sit at the wall, stare at your wall in your room every day. No, that's not how you got to be. But you just got to walk with that wisdom and walk with that understanding. And like I said, establish your image, you know, when you get there, so people know what you represent and know what you stand for. So some people, they're not even going to come to you with certain things, you know, and certain people are not going to try you with certain things as well because they know what you stand on. Now, I'll say this too: when you do profess your image to people, some people are not going to try you, but some people going to try you. Some people gonna be like, wait, hold on, Israelite, I heard of this before. Oh, okay. Oh yeah, but we smoking later though. You trying to come? Like they don't give a damn. Women don't give a damn. Oh, you got a girlfriend? Oh, we gonna put that to the test. All right, let's see. Let's see if you really got a girlfriend. Or let's see if you really gonna be loyal to her. Or you got a man. Hi. And Jake tried that all the time with Eve. Oh, you got a man? And it's so crazy because Jake say this in the world. If he not my homie or something like that, then I don't care or something like that. If he not my homie, then you don't got a man. If he not my homie, you don't got a man. That's what Jake say. That's literally what Jake say, man. And they'll try you. Eve will do the same thing. So being spiritually girded and knowing who to talk to and know who converse with, man. Like I said, you don't gotta converse with the most popular, the popularist people, but you know you can talk to Jake. You know, you see Jake, he over there by himself, right? He don't really talk to a lot of people. It's just him at the table. Man, go sit with Jake, talk to him a little bit, man. See what's going on, right? He try to bring him into the truth. Right? Or, if you're at Eve and you see another Eve, she don't really talk to all the other, she don't really get along with the other girls. She's kind of weird in her own consort. Talk to her, right? Be her only friend. But you don't mean you got to be around a whole bunch of other people and you talking to them about party and all different types of stuff. And now you kind of jammed up because now you're in a group and you can't leave the group now. Right? You done got so close with them. Now you can't leave the group. Now they hitting you up. Like, what's going on? And you don't want, it's ridiculous. Also when it says off, what fellowship have the wolf with the lamb, so the sinner with the godly. I know so some brothers, that are in school, and I don't know if brothers are in school in their home state or if they're outside the state. In most cases, brothers don't got cars, right? But I didn't have a car all 3 years in school, so I had to talk to certain people and get good in with certain people just so I can use, get the car, or them having me take me to Walmart if I paid them some gas or whatever. But you kind of like say you got to be friends with mammon. What's that scripture in Luke? You got to be, you got to become friends with mammon. You got to use righteous guile in this thing, man. You got to know how to move in this thing, man. You don't, like I said, you can talk to people, but you ain't make no friends the whole year. It's December 13th and you need some groceries and the cafeteria closed, but you can't call nobody because you don't know no damn body. So you gotta be kind of smart and wise. Let me get this precept, Matthew 10 and 16.
Yeah, Luke 16.
Luke's okay. It's Matthew chapter 10 and 16. Behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. You're literally in the midst of wolves, and you can be devoured at any moment by Satan, man. Be you therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves, but beware of men, right? For they will deliver you up to councils, and they will scourge you in their synagogue. So you want to be wise as a serpent, harmless as a dove. You got to know how to maneuver in this thing, and you got to know how to communicate with certain people. You got to know how to speak people's language sometimes, right? Without indulging too deep in their conversations, just to get the information and get up out of there, right? You got to know how to have different conversations. Like even with Esau, your brother asked a great question. How do you deal with school that have more heathens? And I can tell you this from experience, right? Like I said, I went to a damn 90 something percent Edomite school my freshman year. You got to consort unto your like. And what I mean by that is, you're not going to find nobody with fringes on. I did, luckily. That's how I got into this truth. But you just, I mean, my thing is I wasn't going to hang with no Edomites. That just wasn't me. I didn't come to school. I wasn't in high school hanging with Edomites. I was hanging with Jake all the time. So like when I came to this, I found the closest Israelite person and I talked to him. I found the closest Israelite person I talked to, and that's what I did. And you become kind of cool with that person. And you kind of read the spirit and test the spirit of that person. And if worse come to worse, you got to learn how to be by yourself. You got to learn how to be by yourself. It is what it is. You got to learn how to be an Israelite that knows how to be by himself. You know, because the heathens around you is, if I don't know what type of person you are, if you had heathen friends, but me personally, if I was at an all heathen school like I was, it was either I was by myself or I was going to talk to a Jake that I may have known either on my team because I play basketball, or that just was around the school. You know, and Jake do that in the world. When Jake go to an event or an environment and it's all Edomites, they try to look for the nearest Jake, or they look for the nearest Eve that they know. They don't even have to know that person. They just got to, all right, there's another Jake here. All right, there's another Eve here. Right. And then next thing you know, they strike up a conversation. Right. Because they don't feel comfortable talking to Esau. You know, that's what Jake do. And that's what I did. You know, so I'll say just find the nearest Israelite person you can find, bring out the truth to that person. If it don't bear witness with them, whatever, right? But if they seem like a cool person, you know, kind of talk to them, you know, converse with them, you know, and kind of make that be your friend at school, man. You know, instead of dealing with the heathen, you know, you don't want to deal with the heathen, man. Like I said, you got to kind of be wise in this thing, man, and know how to maneuver and know how to do certain things when you're at school, but not getting caught up into the folly and not getting caught up into the thing. You're literally walking a narrow tight path every day. You're walking a narrow tight path. Every decision you make can lead you to error. You know, I'm gonna bring out this one last example. I asked to go to the grocery store, you know, with one of my teammates, and I didn't really know him like that, but that was my only option. I went to the grocery store. We make 7 different moves before we actually get to the grocery store. He had to pick up this. He had to drop off that. He had to go talk to this person, move with this person, and do this with this person. Like, you got to know who you're dealing with, man. And all of those things, involve sin. Keep it like that. All of those things involve sin before I actually got to pick up my damn groceries, man. You know, so you just want to know who you're dealing with. And needless to say, I was cool with that person, but I ain't never ask another ride from that person again, or even kick it with that person, man, because I knew what that person was about, right? So just reading the spirit, testing the spirit. If you at a school of all heathens, you got to learn how to be by yourself, man. Right? And the Lord is your friend. All right.
Right. I had to add on to that question. You brought out Matthew 10:16.
I just brought it up.
I'm gonna get the parable of the unjust steward. It's the book of Luke chapter. I'm not gonna read the whole parable of the unjust steward. But I'm gonna get to the point. This is Luke chapter 16 and verse number. Man, that's a good parable of the unjust steward. I'm not gonna spoil it though. You can read it on your own. Right, to the point. Verse 8, Luke 16:8. And the Lord commended the unjust steward because he had done wisely. And this man was off, but he still done wisely. For the children of this world and their generation wiser than the children of the light. Meaning what? You have the wicked, the children of this world, they got some type of common sense more than the children of the light. You got certain brothers saying, oh yes, heathen, you already know what time it is. Revelation 13:9. Brother, you gonna get kicked off the school.
Right.
What do you mean, Jeremiah 30:16? Isaiah 14:1. You got brothers saying, yeah, you know what time it is. You won't down speakerphone with your Ak. You talking about, give me the book of Revelation, chapter 13 and verse 9. But you're gonna get kicked out, brother.
Hey, you go into damn cafeteria with a blowhorn, preaching Jesus coming back. It's kind of doing your thing, preaching Bible verses coming. That's can't.
Yeah.
Security gonna wrap you up.
Yeah. Talking about all Edomites gotta go into slavery. You got certain men that'll do that I don't give a damn spirit. You can't have that I don't give a damn spirit. Yeah, we know Esau is the so-called white man in the other nations. Yeah, your enemies. But use them to your advantage. You know what I'm saying? They might have it. A lot of them actually do have the connects. So you could be cool with them without necessarily being buddy, but you still know they going into slavery. Nevertheless, use them to your advantage. But the children of the light, they one-minded. They don't think like the children of this world. When it comes to certain things, that's why it's saying verse 9, and I say unto you, make to yourselves friends of the mammon and of righteousness, that when ye fail, that ye may receive unto you everlasting habitations. See that? So you want to make yourself friends of the mammon. Mammon represents also it depends when you go into the definition. Certain brothers say wickedness, Satan. Nevertheless, it's you want to make yourselves friend of the ungodly, not be clicked up with them, but you want to use them. You want to use the so-called white man to your advantage. You don't want to just go in to your professor and say, "Do you know you an Edomite?" You just come in, you slam the door. You just right. Do you know you an Edomite? No, brother. You might say, "Hey, how you doing, professor? Professor, whatever his name is, Professor Doomsburg. I know I'm a new student. I'm just here to learn and increase my knowledge." Then you might say, okay, so and so. Hey, have a seat right there. That's the spirit you want to be moving. Then you never know. You might be on hard times. Then the professor, he see you. He say, "You need a ride home." It's been plenty of times I had my Edomite boss. I didn't want to get in the car, but hey, I had to do what I had to do, man.
You ain't lying. That happened to me too.
Yeah, I had to. Hey, Edomite, she offered me a ride. Hey, I got to do what I got to do. I'll take the ride. Are you still going into captivity? But I'll take the ride. I didn't tell her that, but I'll take the ride. Man, you got to do what you got to do sometimes. You don't want to be. Let me get that in Ecclesiastes chapter 7. You don't want to be over righteous over much.
Right.
It's the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and verse number 16. It says, "Be not righteous over much, neither make thyself over wise. Why shouldest thou destroy thyself?" Right? You don't want to be righteous over much, man. Meaning, you don't want to be, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to be super over righteous. You're just coming in, you just a super Israelite now. You want to be wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove.
I got precept. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 13. Really going into the rich man, but I mean, it applies now, right? Sirach chapter 13 and verse 10. "Press thou not upon him, lest thou be put back. Stand not afar off, lest thou be forgotten." So you don't want to stand too far off, lest you be forgot. You're gonna be forgotten by all those people, right? Or forgotten in a sense where people don't really know your name, right? People should still know you and understand who you are and what you represent. Oh, okay, that's that. That's the when I was at Jackson State, I was known as for my team was the Bible dude, right? Anytime my roommate, will bring in people to like smoke or do anything with him, they'll be like, "Oh yeah. Hey, come here, Taz. Hey, he be doing that Israelite stuff. Hey, and hey, can you bring it out to them?" And that's an opportunity for me to wake up 6-7 souls. So when you establish that image, and now every time my dude got some people in there and they're doing their wickedness, he literally stops them from doing what they're doing. Say, "Hey, Taz," he knocks on my door. "Hey, can you bring out that Bible stuff?" Last time. But I'm like, "Hey, every time you have your friends, I'll come bring out the Bible." And I told him I'll bring out the Bible. He's like, "Cool." And I always did it, man. And I actually had one person out of all those people I edified actually take down the Instagram and everything, man. Was actually interested in it and had Bible conversation with him. He was bringing out certain things. So, you don't want to be too far off, and then again, you don't want to be too close. You got to find that just balance. You want to find that just balance, and like I said, know how to make deals, know how to cut deals, and being using that righteous guile. Hey, like for example, Joseph was the king, damn near the king of Egypt, man. He was ruler of his goods. Did he tell that Egyptian, "The Lord putteth a difference between the Egyptians and Israel, you heathen"? He never did that, man. Joseph used wisdom and taught his senators wisdom too, man. You know, did King David, not King David, let me go to the book of Daniel. Did Daniel tell the king, you wicked heathen, I don't want to be the president. Who do you think I am? I'm the prince and servant of the Most High. He didn't do that, man. That's off. It's Daniel chapter 6 and verse 1. It pleased Darius to set over the kingdom 120 princes, which shall be over the whole kingdom. And over these 3 presidents, of whom Daniel was first, that the princes might give accounts unto them, and the king shall have no damage. So Daniel was preferred above all 3 presidents, and he was over the whole kingdom because Daniel knew how to talk to the heathen. Daniel knew how to converse with the heathen. You got to understand how these heathen think about you. These heathen know they don't like you. They know you're their enemy. They hide it with deceit. They don't come and say that, oh, I'm your enemy and I hate you. That's what Jake do. Jake, you can't be doing that. You got to know how to deal with your enemy. The Bible teaches you how to deal with your enemy. You got to know how to deal with your enemy in matters of affairs, diplomacy, deceit. You got to know how to be deceitful to your enemy, man, and using God with your enemy too, right? And knowing how to conversate with them and know how to interact with them and to get the information you need out of them to help you prosper. And that's what Daniel did. That's why he was preferred, right, amongst the other presidents, man, because he used wisdom all the time, man. Right? Wisdom is just not just knowing knowing the commandments, knowing this. Wisdom is knowing how to deal with other people and knowing how to communicate with the other people, man, while applying the precepts and applying the laws. Right? Now, let me go to the book of Sirach real quick. This book of Sirach, chapter 19. And don't confuse wisdom with evil knowledge. That's not wisdom. This is Sirach chapter 19 and verse number 20. Is this what I want? Okay, this is Sirach 19 and 22. The knowledge of wickedness is not wisdom, neither at any time the counsel of sinners prudence. There is a wickedness in the same an abomination, and there is a fool wanting in wisdom. He that have small understanding and feareth the Most High is better than one that have much wisdom and transgresseth the law of the Most High. So knowledge of wickedness is not wisdom at any time, man. Right? That's not wisdom. So you kind of just want to be careful with that. Wakan, did you have anything else?
You have something else?
I think we hit all the main points. You know, just dealing with school and how to kind of deal with that if you are in school.
Anybody got any more questions pertaining to school? We'll answer questions pertaining to school. But if not, there's no questions pertaining to school. With that, we want to give all honor and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Ba'ashima Mashiach Kumarak Yahushua. Most High willing, this video is edifying. Continue to read, pray, fast, and study. And most importantly, beseech the Heavenly Father for His mercy. Brother Tazamah.
Brother
That. Shalom.
Shalom.